Okay, so what we're working on today is called points, lines, and planes. And this is actually the fundamentals of geometry. This is what everything in geometry is made up of. Okay, so what we have to start off first with is what three undefined terms? What does that mean? But there's three terms that you have to just accept in geometry to be true. Okay, and those three terms are point, line, and plane. So everything in geometry is made up with those, and those don't really have definitions. I'll try and explain what it is, but there's not a definition for those words because they use each other to kind of explain themselves. And so a point is what it sounds like. It's a point. It is a point with a capital letter, okay? So you need to make sure that you use a capital letter. And you're going to notice something in geometry that this is kind of annoying, but capital, lowercase, they mean different things. So you have to be specific and you have to follow my directions, okay? And then, so this is the picture of it, and then how you would see it in a sentence is it would say point A. Okay? All right, so a point is a one-dimensional. It just has one dimension, it only has one thing, okay? So this is 1D. So it's one dimension. I guess I'll write that. One-dimensional. Okay? A line is the next step up. This is two-dimensional. And so what a line has is it's a line like it sounds. It has arrows on both ends, and it's made up, oh, come on, stop it. It's made up of 2 points. So, and because it's made up of 2 points, it has 2 capital letters. A line, the arrows mean that they go on forever and they never stop. So when you see arrows, just know that the lines keep going on infinitely long. Okay, and so there's 2 ways to name this. So again, here's the picture. This is how you name it. You could say line AB, and since this one has arrows above it, the line has arrows above it there. The other way that you can write this is you could also do BA. The order of the letters doesn't matter. All that matters is since there's arrows above each of those letters, when you write it, you have to have arrows. So again, a point is one-dimensional. A line is two-dimensional. It has 2 points. Another way that you can write a line that's not with 2 points is maybe sometimes at the end there's a lower cursive letter at the end. And so that is called line M. And so that's a lower cursive letter. So 2 capital points or a lower cursive letter. All right, so let's follow the pattern here. We had a one-dimensional, two-dimensional. A plane is three-dimensional. And so what that means is a plane covers all dimensions. And the technical kind of way to best understand what a plane is that it is a flat surface. So your desk is a plane, your notebook's a plane, the ceiling is a plane, the floor is a plane. And what happens is anytime you kind of rotate that plane, it goes to a different surface, so it's a different plane. Okay? The way you draw a picture of a plane is you draw a parallelogram. And there's 2 ways to name a plane. The first way is a capital letter in the corner, and the capital letter is a cursive letter. So this can be called plane R. And you don't have to be great at cursive letters, you just have to recognize capital letters in any corner without a point next to them, that represents the plane. Now, just like one-dimensional was 1 point, two-dimensional was 2 points, three-dimensional is 3 points. So the second way you can name a plane is if there's 3 points on a plane. And so this is also called plane ABC. Or it could be plane BAC or CBA or ACB. Just as long as you have those 3 points, that's a plane. So everything in geometry is made up of these 3 points, of these 3 things, okay? Points, lines, and planes. All right, so now there's 2 other types of lines that we need to kind of discuss, and these are more specific lines. I'm not going to go that high. So the first one we have is called a ray. An array, instead of going 2 directions, array goes 1 direction like this. It only has 1 arrow. And so that's the picture of array. And you might think about it like a sun ray, because it starts at the sun and goes out, so it goes one way. Okay, and when you have array, it also has points, so it has 2 capital letters. Now the way you name this is that you notice that there's only 1 arrow right up here above the B. So when I draw it, my arrow is above the B. Now similar to up here, the order doesn't matter, so I can also flip these backwards. But you see how the arrow is above the B? Then that means the arrow has to be above the B. So a line goes on in 2 directions, array goes in 1 direction, and the last one that goes in no direction, meaning it has no arrows, is called a line segment. And so a line segment has a start and a stop. It has no arrows. And again, it has 2 points, so it's still AB. And when you name this, it's AB with the segment above it. You don't put any arrows on it because there's no arrows on this one. And then same thing, it could also be BA. Okay, order does not matter as long as the picture kind of matches with how you write it. All right, so points, lines, planes, ray, line segment. There's a couple other words that we need to be familiar with. And actually, I should highlight these words real quick. Where's my mouse? Let's highlight those because you do need them. Arrays, a vocabulary, line segment. Okay, so the next words we have, the first one we have is collinear. And collinear means points on the same line. So when things are collinear, they are on the same line. Okay? The next word we have is non-collinear. Well, non-collinear is what it sounds like. It's not collinear. So points not on the same line. Okay, and so let's highlight those because we have, those are vocabulary words you need to be aware of. Okay, so just like we have collinear points, points on the same line, we also have something called coplanar points. And this is what it sounds like. They're coplanar, which is the word plane, so points on the same plane. And just like non-collinear, we are also going to have non-coplanar. Points not on the same plane. Okay? So we need to be familiar with those words because they will come up and you're going to have to know how to draw them or read it and answer questions based on what it's asking. Okay, so there is one word, there's some space there. There is one more word that we need, and I forgot to put the dot here, so add that dot, and this word is intersection, intersect. And intersect is what it sounds like. When things intersect, they cross. So when things cross each other, but we need to have that word, so I want to make sure you know when things cross. Okay, and so when lines cross, when 2 lines cross, they make this right here. And what that is they make 1 point. So when 2 lines cross, they make 1 point. Okay, when planes cross, so here's a plane, and I'm going to draw this one here. If you notice where planes cross, let me change colors, they intersect at this whole thing right here. And that is a line. Okay? So when lines cross, they make the step down, they make a point. When planes cross, they make a step down and they make 1 line. Okay? So it's important to understand, remember, when lines cross to make a point. This trickier one is when planes cross to make a line. But here's just an example. You could see all those points. It touches multiple times. All right, so now let's use our vocabulary to draw some pictures. So go ahead and write these problems down, and then we will try and draw pictures for them. Okay, so if you notice right here, it says AB, and you see it has arrows on it. So I'm going to draw that with arrows. And you notice that I don't put the points on the arrows. I give some space, but this is AB. And you could have said BA, it doesn't matter. And we know it crosses. So crossing is when they intersect, and it could intersect any way, but this line is called CD. And it says they intersect at E. And that's the answer. So we have to draw the pictures and kind of follow what it says. All right, for number 2, we start off with CD. So I'm going to draw this line CD. And then for this one, it says, and AB do not intersect. Well, what kind of lines don't intersect? Yeah, parallel lines. So I need to draw this one parallel to that one there. And there's no arrows. And you notice I didn't go over here. You can't go past the point. So I need to erase that. You can't go past the point. You have to stop at the point. So that's AB. And so that's line CD and segment AB do not intersect. All right, let's look at number 3. It says line M. So let's draw a line. And when you have a lowercase, it's not a point. So I just put the M over here. It says it contains points D, E, F, and G. Contains means lies on. It's with it. And that's the answer. The order of those points doesn't matter as long as you have those 4 points there. Okay, number 4, we have a plane. And so we only draw the picture of a plane when it says something about a plane. So since it says a plane, I'm going to draw this picture of a plane. And remember, a plane is a parallelogram. And I'm going to put the cursive letter in one of the corners. And it says it contains. And remember, contains means it lays on. So I need to put this segment somewhere on the plane. And then it also says and E. So that means E is somewhere on the plane. And that's it. You just have to make sure you have both of those things on the plane. Okay, this last one is the tricky one. Let me insert some space so you guys can see. Okay, so what I have to do is I have to start off by drawing my plane because it says plane L. So I'm going to draw a plane. Now, to make it intersect, what happens is it's going to come up from above and it's going to go through the plane. And so to go through the plane, I need a little more space. To go through the plane, to make it show that it goes through plane, I'm going to start up here. This is A. And look, A doesn't have an arrow, so it starts right here. It's going to hit this plane right here, and then it's going to go through it. The way you show going through is a dashed line. And then it pops out from the plane. So you show dashed line, dashed or dotted line, when intersecting a plane. That shows that it goes underneath it. Okay? And then the only thing I have to show is where it intersects, and it intersects here. Okay? So this first section of geometry is a little tricky because it's all new. But remember, capital letters are points. 2 points make a line array or a line segment. 3 points make a plane. And then you just have to kind of draw the pictures. And it takes practice, but it is doable. But make sure you learn your vocabulary first because that's going to be the most important thing.